right. So basically, Ryan, what I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Jesse, since you're in here too. What I'm thinking that we're getting together and talking about is just kind of getting an update on what you have going on in your schedule, what we can do to maximize your opportunity for the summer, for the right now things. Did we need to order your fast start prices? Did we already do that?
I don't know if we have yet.
I don't think we have. So your fast start ended, correct?
Yeah.
So let's just figure that out really quickly here.
Still have one customer's order was struggling to go through.
I
figured that out today though. She just
Okay.
needs to call in.
Yeah, and authorize the charge. And how much was the CPO on that one? Because yeah, so and then you gave how many names for us to call to get invite to be a part of the team? 185. So I owe you 1,000 CPO, 1,000 for your fast start prizes in that respect, which is awesome. And then you're showing up at only 1,100, but with that one, I'll put you at 1,500, so that'll put you at 2,500. So that means we're going to get you the prizes up to the $2,500 mark, and that's just because, I trust you. I know you're going to get the order, to go through, and I think I remember that was the situation, even from the beginning. So really quickly, let's go ahead and order your fast start prizes. I don't usually do this during a PC, but let's just get it done. Okay. Are you wanting Pearl or do you want Classic? And it's DEVITT, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the spatula spreader and the petite jet.
Yeah. And it's, okay, so it's DEVITT. ITT. Okay, why is it? Okay, let me try this out. Okay. And it's debit, DEVITT. And then, of course, won't do auto. All right, now I'm getting annoyed. All right, we're going to do, oh, there we go. Okay, search. What? Oh, no wonder I'm putting your last name in the, okay. So, yeah. We'll do, you want spatula spreader in Classic, slicer in Classic, petite Santoku in Classic? Did you get the petite Santoku? Yeah. All in Classic? And then you got the ice cream scoop because you got your first weekend, you got your first 2 orders. Did you have a virtual sale in your first 10 days?
I didn't have a virtual sale.
Did not?
But I had a demo.
Virtual demo, but not a virtual sale. Okay, so we don't get the stainless steel. Take that. Okay, so we got 4 pieces. Ice cream scoop, spatula spreader, petite Santoku, and the slicer. Okay, so already ordered. You'll be getting those shipped out very soon. Okay, awesome. So that was easy. So yeah, basically right now what we're trying to do is really try to take our best people. Jesse, will you make sure that this young man just came in is hooked up with Calvin and we're getting on the phone and stuff like that real quick? Okay, so I wanted to get a handle on your schedule and get a handle on what we can do to maximize your potential, your opportunity, Ryan. So you've got the other job. It's holding you pretty full time.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it like 7 to 4? What's the schedule usually?
It's usually leave the house. Leave out
Whose company is it?
So it's a guy in my ward. He's a general contractor.
What are you paying? What are you paying?
I think he's paying $12 an hour.
So you don't know?
Well, I don't know exactly.
All right.
I talked to him, and I was like, at least 9 or 10. He's like, oh, I can pay more than that.
So you're not sure then? And you've been working 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've been working here 2 weeks. And, at $12 an hour, you're going to make, a couple, $3,000 to $5,000 probably this summer. Mm-hmm. And that's if you work full time, right? Around $400 a week, take home for 10 weeks. That's $4,000 take home. Okay, just to let you know, if you were to, and I'm not trying to compete or tell you to do this instead of construction, construction's only going to be so valuable on your resume. Yeah. Unless you're going to be a construction foreman, a civil engineer, maybe. It's good to have been a construction worker because you know a little bit about codes and a little bit about zoning. I'm supposing maybe you learn a little bit along the way. And in civil engineering, you might need some of that, right? But the vector opportunity and the experience is really valuable for everybody. But in your case, Ryan, like I didn't even to be straight up frank with you. I was driving here thinking, I don't know. I didn't know we had a PC. I actually forgot completely that you had a PC with me, or actually with Jesse, and I get to run it. You know what I mean? It actually made me very good, very excited when I'm like, oh, we're gonna have a PC with Ryan. I'm like, well, that was perfect because I was literally driving here just now from the Office Depot or Office Max, thinking, you know what, I want to talk to Ryan tonight, and the reason I wanted to talk to you, well, I'm gonna put it one way. You're already signed up for the conference. You're gonna learn a ton. Make sure you get June 13th off.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it off?
Yeah.
Okay, smart man. Okay, who told you to do that? Oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, so, but I do want to say that while I had that in my mind, I'm like, well, I don't need to sign Ryan up for the conference because he's already going to the conference, so that's pretty easy. I wanted to sit down and think, you know, Ryan's just so sharp, and you know, I'll even put it to you this way. I loved your game and Frisbee the other night. I was like, man, Ryan's a go-getter. Ryan's the type of guy, he's competitive, and I honestly love this job because it's competitive. There's recognition, there's reward, there's competition, there's scholarships, there's things you can achieve with hard work. Yeah. At any job that's hourly, you can't achieve that much more by working harder versus not working harder. You just collect your paycheck. As long as you don't get fired, you get the same amount of money. And I'm not ripping on the hourly jobs. You're working one now. I worked at, you know, at a decent hourly rate. You get the idea. And you feel good about yourself if you get more done. But in reality, they don't reward you anymore unless they maybe give you a promotion or maybe they give you a little raise or whatever it is. It's usually not that much. But in Vector, if you took the same number of hours and put that in, you saw that. No, you didn't see that because you're at the SLDM. You weren't at the SLDM. You know, and I'd love to get you to come to the SLDM this Tuesday.
What's the?
It's 11 to 2.
Yeah.
Same timing.
So what would be so valuable for me that I need to make?
It's a great question. Besides Cutco selling skills, which will make you more money, we actually do in the SLDM. It's a sales, so it's a sales meeting. It's a leadership meeting and a development meeting. So sales, leadership meeting, development meeting. So the last two are leadership and development. Basically, I start whenever we have an SLDM, I start to expose only the people that are invited to the meeting to the Vector opportunity. Why is Jesse an assistant manager? Well, Jesse made $500 today. Jesse made $600 last week, or $400 today. And he made $500 in 2 appointments last week, right? While making, that was his own income from his own sales, but he's also getting dual income, meaning he's making a percentage, a portion of what the office sells because he's an assistant manager. He's affecting our management, our sales, by helping us recruit and build our team. He's helping us with high school graduations. He's helping us interview people and bring people on the team, you know, and there's dual income. So I started to talk about that in the SLDM. I talked about the branch manager opportunity because the reason that really that Jesse's an assistant manager is because he wants to get past assistant manager and become a branch manager. A branch manager, I don't mind telling you, makes very, very frequently 5 figures in the summer, which is twice $4,000, which is what construction will pay you. Maybe you get $6,000 in the summer if you work construction. But branch managers very frequently, not always, but very, very frequently, make 5 figures in the summer. I'll be honest, Chelsea ran 2 offices the last 2 summers, you know this, and she made $20,000 profit each summer. So, pretty good for a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old. Female girl ready to get married, pay for a wedding, pay for a honeymoon, and her husband came home from his mission. They weren't married yet. But you know, he came home and she already had a bunch of money in the bank. You know, she already had made a bunch of cash, and then he makes solid money. His dad has an HVAC company, so he's like kind of second in charge, so he makes the higher income. Otherwise, he's doing construction, basically HVAC. I mean, it's the same as construction, right? And for all I know, you're doing HVAC. You know what I mean? I don't know if you're framing or cleaning up the site or whatever you're doing, you know. But, you know, her husband makes okay money because he does, you know, get the highest pay possible in that company because it's his dad's company. But she's made a lot of cash, and she's 20, and she has this great resume. And you're just home from your mission, so are you 20 or 21? 21. And, you know, the fact is, that resume is what Jesse's after.
that experience for his major, which is business, but civil engineering is people, it's working, and it's a little different, obviously, than business or communications or whatever. But I will tell you the experience. I was like, you know what, man, Jesse, he's a sharp, sharp dude. Or not Jesse. Jesse's a sharp dude. Ryan is a sharp dude. I was driving here. Remember I told you I'm back to my car now? I'm like, Ryan is a sharp, sharp guy that I think if we had to build a division, like 20 offices next summer. We have 12 right now, 20 next summer. I'm like, Ryan, just by talent, work ethic, and attitude that I can tell Ryan has, if we just trained Ryan on the ins and outs of the vector job, the being a manager, being a leader, let alone the fact that you've only sold $1,500 at this point, forget about that. You've got the talent. You got the type of personality that I can tell you between now and next April, you're actually a person I could see running an office. I could see Jesse doing that. I could see Frank doing it. I could see Sylvia. I could see Calvin's like getting me out of this office, not in a bad way, but he's like he's chomping at the bit to be a district manager, and he's already been a district manager, But Chelsea's already done it. We have people that are used to being assistant managers in our office right now that are running offices in Tooele and Provo. Provo's the #1 office in the country right now, and was #3 in the country for the sales this week, but #1 overall for the summer so far. And the assistant manager there, Mimi, Mimi, the Asian girl.
I think I saw her.
You met her last week. She's like ready to be a branch manager next summer. You know what I mean? She's like, Phil, when I run my branch, this is what I'm doing, and this is that, and you almost like you can't stop me. And the funny thing is, she's never been on a mission. She's never been to college until this year, barely this last year. So she's 2 years behind you, if you will, in maturity. And she's already like, I'm running an office. And she's very confident. Now, no one's going to be perfect. No one's going to be 100% for the whole summer. Jesse's going to make mistakes. Everyone's going to make mistakes. Our current managers make mistakes. Yet our division is the highest growth in the entire central region. Last week we grew by 58% over last year. And that's because of the quality of managers we already have. But we're looking to do that times 2, if that makes sense. Yeah. We're looking to say if we're at 12 offices now, we want to go to 24 next summer, and not only have assistants, but not only that, but have assistants in every office. So there's a role for everyone if they want to be a part of it. But I was like, again, driving here, and I was like, man, there's like, let's see, there's Ryan, there's Kale. Kale's already ready, wants to be an assistant manager, wants to be a branch manager possibly next year. There's already people that are in line. And I was just thinking, man, if you had come to the SLDM, you'd kind of be in that boat as well, wanting to maybe look into management. Not that you sign your life over and say, I'm running an office. Yeah. But I think you're a sharp enough guy that if we trained you on it, you'd be like, I could do this. You know what I mean? So I'm just putting it bluntly.
Yeah.
And it'd be huge for your resume. Huger than construction. And I'm not dissing. Yeah. It would be way huge. And way valuable for you to have that on your resume, let alone make more money.
I ran an office.
Yeah, and maybe win a trip to Costa Rica or wherever we go next year. This year it's Costa Rica for whoever runs an office this summer, but the summer before last it was Prague. The summer before that was Rome. Summer before that was Panama. Summer before that was Budapest. Okay, I saw Mumford & Sons live in concert in Budapest, Hungary. I don't even know where that is. Like on a map, it's very located now. Put a pin in the thing. You know what I mean? So, there's travel opportunities, there's resume, there's income, there's experience. Huge for the future for what, positions you want to get into, maybe in civil engineering. At the SLDM, back to your question, we cover those types of things. And what it's like, and what could, and why do it, and what are the advantages. And beyond branch manager, it's district manager. Because the cool thing is, when you branch, you're kind of in training to be a district manager, and you could run a year-round office. Of course, you'd be out of school. You wouldn't necessarily go to school because you'd be running an office as a career, which is what I've been doing since 1999. Were you born then? Okay. You were born in what, 97? 94. Okay, so you're born the year I started this job, right? I started the job in 94 on June 28th. Were you alive? No. I started this job before you were born, okay? And there's a reason why 22 years later, this June, I'm still going to be here. And it's a pretty rewarding opportunity. Before I was a division manager, really rewarding opportunity. I'm not going to sell you on that right now.
But that's what the SLDM kind of informs you about what it's all about. I kind of did a short version of the SLDM right there. Yeah, but it's a little more in depth, and then we teach more sales skills and referrals and recommendations. And I just want to basically tell you that I would love to figure out a way for you to do, even if you keep construction, I would love to get you to a point where you're doing, 7 to 10 appointments a week, and you sell 20 grand this summer, and you make $5,000. And our management training process happens from really July, the end of July, like 1st of August, from that until April. And even if you're at Utah State, even if there is or isn't an office there, you would go through the training process, and you could have an opportunity to participate in office functions in here or in the Ogden or Bountiful office or whatever it is, and prepare to run an office. And actually, weird though it might sound, you could be in a position of leadership next summer. Even if you train to be a branch and then you don't branch, you could be a killer assistant manager. Like, we need 3 more Jessies. You know what I mean? We need, and not only in our office, but in 12 other offices right now. There's 9, 10 other offices. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and that's kind of what SLDM kind of informs you about. What if you took a couple hours off? Even if you're coming smelly and in construction gear, it would be fine. You know what I mean? And you're already going to SE1, so we're good there. But I don't know. What do you think? My 2 questions are: is it feasible you can maybe get to the SLDM on Tuesday? Number 1, and number 2 is, what is feasible for you to do as far as a weekly schedule, and while you're doing construction, what can we maybe try to work out on a consistent level? So,
yeah. So first off, I don't really see myself as a salesman. I don't know if this is a complete salesman job.
Right.
It doesn't feel like it's 100% salesman job. But
I'm glad you see that.
I don't see myself as a salesman. I don't want to be a salesman in the future. However,
by the way, for the if you don't mind me.
Yeah, go ahead.
For the amount of work you've done, to say you're not a salesman, I would actually argue the point, because I would say actually you are pretty good at selling Cutco, even though you've only done the low number of appointments that you've done and only sold $1,500, $1,600, $1,700 or whatever. I can tell you that's fine. If you feel that way, no problem. Sylvia feels that way, and she sold 11 grand in Cutco. So, and she's an assistant manager. So I'm okay with that, you know what I mean? But just keep in mind that I might even argue the point. But that doesn't matter, because you're doing great. You know what I mean? What was the other thing you were going to say? You don't see yourself as a salesperson?
Like my dad, he told himself his whole life I wouldn't end up in sales, and he has. Mm-hmm. And I just don't want to do that. Because, I mean...
What's he sell?
He sells insurance and...
What company?
He works the job.
Mm-hmm.
But,
he works sales and insurance and what else?
And toner cartridges.
Oh.
So he works for Laser Express.
Okay. Is that like a kiosk thing in the mall, or?
No, they go out to the places with the big old
businesses and these accounts and
refurbish their toners.
Okay. Yeah, those are pretty, straight up B2B, business to business. Constantly out in the field, so to speak. Pounding the pavement. And I can get why that's tough for him.
I do like being a leader, and I feel like that's something that I enjoy and have fun with. I've been a leader most of my life in church positions.
Right.
So I could see that as something possible in the future.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like from my first weekend, Cutco was such a dominant thing in my life that I hardly could breathe, And my family was even commenting on it, like, you don't even have any time for us, like, you just eat.
Well, you went through 18 hours of training. That alone pulls you out of, family, but whatever, for a couple of days.
So, I just don't want it to take over my life, but I also think it's a great opportunity to. I'd love to stay here all summer.
Right.
I think I can make some good money here too. So.
It's great that you recognize that. A couple things. If there's ever 10 days plus 3 for training, that we'd say, dude, give it your all. It was your fast start, but I just ordered your fast start prizes, so your fast start's over. So we're not going to ask you to do that much work, kind of ever again. Number one. Plus, you're making more money, at least 15%, and you're on your way to 20%. So that's a good thing. And let's get to 20% ASAP. And if you were to do 7 appointments, let's say 7 appointments, and this is something I actually do spell out a little bit in the SLDM as well. 7 appointments, and there's 13 weeks left of the summer. Okay, that's a 2, and that's a 70, so 91 appointments. Okay, you're probably going to sell 60 orders on that. Sell 65, 60 out of 90 appointments. So that's 60 orders, and times this week our average order was 3,333. So 333. And our division's average order was 345. So we'll just say 333 because that's
personal average order will go up.
Yeah.
In future.
Right, and you're going to sell 20K. It comes out exactly to $20,000, and that equals $5,000 income. Okay, $5,000. 7 appointments a week for the rest of the summer. You do 7 appointments for the rest of the summer, and you're talking $5,000 in income. Now, if you do construction 40 hours a week, fine, you'll make $4,000 or $5,000. You know what I mean? If you do this job, 7 appointments, counting everything is probably like 12, maybe 15 hours of work. You know what I mean? Yeah, 7 appointments, counting a team meeting, whatever. Talking like 15 hours. So yeah. Hello. All right.
I brought you the leftovers.
All right. Sounds good.
Love you.
All right, my notes. All right. So you just drove in town from Boise.
I might be asleep when you get home.
Okay. All right.
I'm hoping we are.
All right.
We've been up to 1 a.m. till like 5 minutes
Right.
ago.
Yeah. Have fun.
Okay. All right. Talk to you in a
Love
bit.
you, honey.
Okay. Love you. You want to get everyone in there? It's 8, but you can go for 10 minutes if you want, or something. Whatever. Okay. I mean 5. Whatever you want to do.
Well,
Okay.
whenever everyone's basically in there, but Sylvia and Hannah.
And if they're phoning, great. If they're folding, great. Phoning or
They're
folding.
both, so.
Okay, great.
So
Awesome.
whenever you come in,
I'll be there. Okay, I'll just be a few. I'm like, all right. So
Are you actually using your computer right now?
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
then there's- okay.
So thanks. I already pulled it up. Okay.
So for me this week, I've done 2 already.
Mhm.
Tuesday, yesterday.
Mhm.
I'll have 2 more tomorrow. Hopefully 2 on Friday. So that's 6.
6.
I could probably squeeze them in Saturday.
It's
It's doable.
yeah. So that, and if I know it's like, well, 40 hours of work at construction plus 15 hours of vector, but for $10,000, maybe that's worth it.
And that's what I'm doing this summer. I want to work hard and make money.
I don't know a better thing a single 20-year-old guy, 21-year-old return missionary should be doing.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't think there's anything else you should be doing besides making money for college and, getting financially in a good position for the future. I don't know if you have a girlfriend. I don't know any of that stuff yet. I would say, do that too. Have a social life, but who knows if that's just going to be more of a Utah State thing for all I know. You know what I mean?
If
So.
I start dating someone down here,
Yeah.
then
You never know.
we go back to Utah State.
Right. Yeah. So, I think it's a really good idea for us to at least say 7 appointments a week, even if you're working construction, 7 to 10 appointments a week. I would love to see you do that. You would make $5,000. I just want you to realize that you would make $5,000 plus. A guy of your character, your talent, I guarantee if you did that many appointments per week, you're going to make about $5,000. Which 15 hours vector to make $5,000, 40 hours construction to make $5,000. You see the payoff.
Yeah.
The payoff is a lot higher for lesser work with vector. Now, in the beginning, your construction paychecks will be higher because, well, there are 2-week paychecks instead of 1-week paychecks.
That makes sense.
But 2 vector paychecks will be a little less than the 1 construction, just initially while you're still at 20% or below.
Mm-hmm.
But then you'll start to be at 25, 30%, and you'll be making, $100, $200 a week more than construction. You know what I mean?
Be like, okay,
And you might say,
construction.
enough construction, right? And that's a really cool thing. And then what's cool is you can take this with you to Logan. Construction, probably not, you know what I mean? But the vector thing, plus you'll be at 30, 40%, 30, 35% at school, which is more money. Where you do like 3 appointments a week. And really have a great social life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can do all your schooling and everything you gotta do.
and only be at three demos a week and still make a couple $100 a week, which when you're in college, that's like $1 million. You know, a couple $100 a week is way more than you probably need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, well, yeah. If you can say 7 appointments a week or more, then heck yeah, let's just go for that, and no pressure. Just let's communicate. Which I probably call you while you're at construction. Please don't ever feel pressure. Please don't. I literally dial before I even look sometimes, and then I'm like, wait a minute. Oh, but I don't want to hang up and think I pranked him or not leave a message. I already talked to Calvin. I already talked to Chelsea. Okay, so.
Yeah. So.
What?
It's 8:05. Let's do
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll work on that.
And
and
I'm grateful that you're not giving up on me.
No.
Because I
I would. Yeah.
really enjoy this job, and it's
Good.
good.
I'm excited about that. That's great.
Keep working.
So you're good for the 13th.
Yep.
Do you think it's possible to swing Tuesday? Just
11 to 1.
yeah. It's 11 to 2.
11 to 2.
11 to 2. So take a long lunch.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like you have a doctor's appointment and lunch, and you know they'll be okay for a couple hours without you.
Yeah.
You know, you might lose a couple bucks, but I guarantee what you learn will pay you back.
This Tuesday is probably the best one.
This Tuesday.
Because I know we're going to get more busy in the weeks to come.
Okay.
Jobs are
So why don't I put you down for Tuesday that you're going to come to the SLDM. So I'm going to put this in my web PDI system here. So Tuesday is the 7th. Okay. So I'm going to put SLDM. I don't care what you're wearing. Like I said, it's totally cool. And I'll even, you know, I'll remember. But yeah, that's totally great, dude. I just think you're awesome, man. And if you've got enough names on your list. You're a super sharp guy. I know you're going to make those sales. Like, you know, over the course of the summer, you'll average 66 or 70 or 80% of the time making a sale. You'll sell $1,000, $2,000 a week.
I'm like 7 or 8 for
12 or something. Yeah. So, and your brand still new. You know what I mean? SLDM will help. Team meeting every Wednesday night will help. You know, and by the time the summer's over, you'll be like, dude, I sell $2,000 on 7 appointments. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what our top, more higher end reps will do is they'll do 7 appointments, sell $2,500. You know, if I were to send Calvin out right now and do 7, 8 appointments, he'd probably sell $2,000 or more. You know what I mean? Or $2,500. And by the end of the summer, you can be in that position, that type of skills. So, awesome.